Hello, reception. Hello, reception. Hello, reception. And how are you today? Hi, everybody. I hope you're well today. Now, today, our challenge is going to be a shared reading session together. And you, if you've collected your packs, should have the story we're sharing together. Now, it's a very special book because it's a phonic book. It's one of our early phonic readers that really will help you to practice the sounds that we know and be able to read not just a word, but read a sentence. When you're reading your sentence, we will also think about reading for meaning. Really important, mummies and daddies. So reading so that we use the words and the pictures to understand what we're reading. That is an important skill because it's not just about reading the words, it's about understanding the story. Right, here is the book that I'm going to share with you. So if you can go and get that ready near you, then you can read along with me. Now, before we have a look at the title, here's the title. Do you remember? The title is where the words are on the front cover. The title tells us what the book might be about. So this is the front cover. Can you say that? I know you haven't got the book and I haven't got the book, but whenever we have a book, the first part, the front cover, that is its special name. And then we turn it to the back and that's the back cover. And sometimes that tells us a bit of information. But we're looking now at the front cover. So let's have a little look at the pictures before we read the title together. So I can see that there's a little boy here. Can you see him? He's wearing a red jumper and he has some blue dungarees. These are called dungarees. Mummies and daddies, it's really important to pick out lots of new words when you're exploring the pictures and get the children to repeat as well. Now, this little boy, he looks very happy. He's holding something in his hand. I wonder what it is. Can you work it out? I think it could be a pot of jam or maybe a pot of paint. Definitely looks like a pot to me. What do you think? Let's have a look at the title. Now, we're going to recap on our strategy for reading using our phonics, and we're going to use this throughout the whole book today. So if you can see my little pointy pen, it's going to go under the words. Let's have a little read together. So when we read a word using phonics, we look at the letters, we make the sounds, and we blend the sounds together. That's our strategy today. And this one, blend the sounds together, is so important. Right, let's have a look at the title then. Now, my reading finger, yours can do this at home. Here's my reading finger. It must go under the words. So not on top, not over the words, because that covers the letters, but under the words, under the letters. Let's have a go at using our strategy and look at the letters. Now, there's something quite interesting here. Does anybody know what that is? That's an apostrophe and followed by a S, an S. That means that whatever the title is about belongs to the character. We'll read it and have a look. So let's look at the letters and make the sounds. S, A, M, Sams, Sams, P, O, T, pot, Sam's pot, Sam's pot. So the title of this book is called Sam's Pot. So we were right. It's a pot, but it doesn't tell us what. But the pot belongs to Sam. Do you think Sam is the boy or do you think Sam is the cat? Who's holding the pot? Yeah, I think this could be Sam because Sam is holding the pot and the title is Sam's Pot. Unless the cat's called Sam and this boy is holding the cat's pot. I guess we'll find out soon. How many words can you read in our title? How many words? Sam's pot. How many is that? That's right. There's 2 words in this title. Right, I'm excited to turn the page. Let's join along with me. Right, here's page number 1. Oh, I can see it at the bottom, look. Number 1. Let's have a look at the picture before we read any of the words on this page. Now this, I can see a little boy standing there in the room, but that's a different boy to the boy on the front cover. Maybe his name is Sam, but this isn't Sam. This boy has got brown hair and Sam's hair was blonde. Okay, so this boy is picking something up from this. Does anyone know what this is called? It's a shelf. Can you say that word? A shelf. And it's usually where we keep things on. Sometimes if it's a very high shelf, we keep things on there that we don't want little fingers to reach. Maybe they could be dangerous. So this little boy is picking something off a shelf. Can anyone see what he's got in his hand here? Oh, let's have a look. To me, it looks like a paintbrush. Have a look closely on your piece of paper. Now, this little boy, is he at home or is he at school? It's a tricky one, but I think he's at home, because there's a board here with some letters and things like that, and maybe some toys. Yes, there's a toy here, but the table and the sink and the plant, even though we have those at school, and the pussycat, the pet, make me think that this little boy is at home. Do you think the same as me? Look at his board. He's got lots of sounds that we've been practicing. I wonder if he's learning to read like us. Oh, and this, to me, that looks like a map. It actually looks like a map of Australia, not where we live in England. Wow. Okay, let's have a read. Let's get our reading fingers under the first word. Now, where do we start reading? Is it this end going that way, or is it this end going that way? You're right, it's always on the left-hand side of the page. We read from left to right, left to right. Okay, let's use our strategy. There it is to help you. Look at the letters, make the sounds, blend the sounds together, and let's read along, remembering to blend each time. This one starts with a capital letter. So always our sentences start with a capital. Maybe this is somebody's name as well. Tom, blending together. Tom, that does sound like a name. Tom, got. Tom got. Do you see how I'm going back to the beginning of the sentence so my reading is clear? Tom got a pot. Tom got a pot. We were right. So this is not Sam. This is Tom. Tom looks a little bit older than Sam, and Tom is getting a pot. And do we think he might be doing some painting? He's got his paintbrushes. I think I can see a piece of paper on the table. I hope he's got his apron. So Tom got a pot. Let's see what happens next. Oh, we're on the next page here. Oh, it's not a little boy this time. This looks like a little girl. Maybe she's in the same house. Yes, I think she is. How do I know? What can I see on the floor that we could see in the picture before? Let me show you. So on the picture before, we see Tom. Do you remember Tom? He has this toy that's called a spinning top. And on this page, this little girl also has the same spinning top and the same cat. So I think this little girl is in the same room as Tom. And look, she's got something in her hand too. Yes, I think so. It's a pot. Do you think she's going to paint as well? Let's have a look at what she's wearing and let's use some describing words. I can see she's got a purple top. What colour is her hat or her cap? It's pink. Now, can you give me a great describing word to describe her skirt or her tights? Yes, spotty and stripy. Her skirt is white and pink with white spotty spots, and her tights are stripy, white and purple. Shall we have a go at reading the words? We've got our strategy here. We look at the letters, make the sounds, blend them together. We start reading here on the left. Well done. Reading finger under the words. Let's look at the letters and make the sounds. Don't forget to blend. Some of you forget that. Pam. Now, Pam, that's somebody's name. My granny was called Pam. So this little girl is called Pam. Pam got. Pam got a pot. Pam got a pot. And there's our full stop at the end of our sentence. So we had Tom. Let's just go back. Tom getting a pot. Pam's now got a pot. I wonder what's happening on the next page. Let's have a little look. Oh, yes, there, look. There's Tom, there's Pam. They're in their kitchen, I think. And they're busy painting together. Do you think they might be brother and sister? Yeah, maybe. The cat is there watching. I can see on the table a pot of water. That's so they can clean their brushes in between. That's really important. And they're busy painting a lovely picture of something. Tom's looks like he's painting some hair. Can we see anything else in this picture before we read the words? Look, there's another child in the room. That's 1, 2, 3 children in the room. This one is much smaller and hang on, his hair is yellow, blonde. Is that the same as the front cover? Can you go and check? Do you think this little person, this little character, this little boy is called Sam? Maybe. Let's have a little read. Let's look at the letters and make the sounds, blend them together. Read with me. Sam got, Sam got a pot. Sam got a pot. So Sam got a pot. So Sam is reaching up to that. Do you remember what it was called? A shelf. Well done. Sam is reaching up and getting a pot from the shelf. Now, when Tom was reaching up to get a pot, let's go back to that page. Look, he didn't need to reach up high. He was tall enough to reach. But look at Sam, everybody. What is he standing on? This is called a stool. Sam is standing on a stool to reach the pot. Maybe he's too small to reach it himself. Maybe that makes me think that he should not be reaching up to get the pot without asking. Let's see what happens next. Oh, look, they're all painting together. There's Tom, there's Pam. They're painting some great pictures. There's the cat on the table holding that spoon. Maybe that's the mixing spoon. And look on the floor. It's Sam. He's holding his pot of paint. He's not opened it yet, but he's sitting holding it. Gosh, I hope he doesn't drink it. He looks like he's holding it like a cup. Let's have a read of the words and see what we can find out. Pat. Hang on, they're all the same. Pat, Pat, pat. We don't need to use our phonics again. We can remember that word. Pat, pat, pat. Pat, pat, pat. Ah, that's what little Sam is doing with the pot. Is he pat, pat, patting it? And so is the cat. Look, there's 3 more pats here. Pat, pat, pat. He's patting the spoon on the table. Brilliant. Yeah, I can see Pam is doing a self-portrait and Tom is on his second picture. He's done a picture of Pam, he's done a picture of himself, and maybe this is Pam's picture of a cat. Very good, they're really good at painting. Okay, let's move on to the next picture. I'm thinking that Sam is going to open the paint. What do you think is going to happen when little Sam opens the paint? Do you think he's going to start painting? Because that table looks very high up. I hope he's not going to make a mess. Oh no, I think we were right. Look, there's pink paint all over the floor. And Sam is using his spoon to get it out. Tom and Pam have stopped painting and they've turned around and they're looking. So is the cat. They're looking at Sam on the floor. Oh no. Look at their faces. Can you do that? What feeling is that? Is that surprise? Is that shock? I think so. Let's have a read of the words on this page. Oh, they look like they're repeated. So if we read the first one using our strategy, shall we try and read the rest just with our memory? I think so. Tap, 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 tap. Wow, lots of tapping, even more going on down here. Tap, tap, tap. Can you tap for me? Tap, tap, tap. That's right. Well done. I think we were right. I think Sam should not have been reaching up to get that pot. Now he's opened it and he's got his spoon and he has made a big mess. What do you think Pam and Tom are going to say? The brother and the sister. What do you think they're going to say to Sam? Do you think maybe they'll call their mom or dad? Mom, Dad, Sam has made a big mess on the floor. Do you think maybe they will shout at him themselves? Sam, that is not a good choice. Or do you think maybe they'll say, oh, Sam, let me help you get it right and you can come and paint with us. I hope it's the last one because I'm sure Sam didn't mean to make a mess. He's just exploring and learning. So they need to show him the right way. Oh, look. Oh, look at Pam. She's picked up Sam and she's holding him on her knee. And now Tom has gone off and he's going to clean it up. Oh, look. Yeah, he looks like he's mopping it. Can you say that word? Mop. That's what we use when we're cleaning the floor. It doesn't look like they're cross with him because they know he's only learning. They're just going to say, you need to do it this way. Get your apron, get your paintbrush, get your paper. I will help you, Tom. I will help you, Sam, to open the paint. Brilliant. Let's have a go at reading the words then, guys. Let's use our strategy. Tom. Oh, yes, we had that word earlier. Tom. Got. I've been reading that on lots of pages, so I've tried to remember that this time. Tom got a up mop. Tom got a mop. We were right. He's cleaning up. What a great story and so much to talk about, even though there wasn't many words. See, reading is not just about reading the words, it's about telling the story. I hope you've enjoyed doing that yourself. We're going to have a go at answering some questions now. Now, when we finish a story, it's really important to ask questions so that we know if we have understood the story. So Children, mummies and daddies can help you with these questions by pausing now, or I can ask you the questions and you can pause the video and see if you can answer them yourself. So the first question is, what were the characters getting from the shelf? What were the characters in this story getting from the shelf? So what were Sam, Tom and Pam getting from the shelf? Do you know? It was a pot of paint, where we saw Tom get the pot and we saw Sam reach for the pot and we saw Pam holding a pot. Great one. Let's read the next question. Can you name the character that had to stand on a stool to reach the pot? Which character was it that couldn't reach? That's right. It was Sam, the little brother, the smallest brother. He was too small, so he had to stand on a stool, didn't he? Now, this is a find a word question, so you can do that yourself with your book at home, your sheet. Can you find a word and point to it? What did Tom use to clean up the pink paint? What did Tom use? Point at the word. That's right. I'm going to do the same. He used a mop. I'm pointing at the word mop. Tom used a mop to clean up Sam's paint. Great job. Now my final question is for you to go off and have a chat with someone about. The question is, do you sometimes feel too small to reach something? I know I do. I feel too small to reach the treat drawer at school because I keep it on the high shelf so Mrs. Weaver doesn't eat at home time. I have to ask a friend to help me. What do you feel too small to reach? Maybe at home, maybe at school. Have a chat about that, and I hope you enjoyed the story. Keep reading, children, and keep reading for meaning, making sure you know what's happening in the story and learning all those new words. Bye, everybody.